So my name's Jeremy Burrows, and I'm a commercial real estate agent with Carr Healthcare Realty. Now, Carr Healthcare Realty is a very different type of real estate firm where we only represent the buyer or tenant side of the real estate transaction, because in every real estate transaction, you've got the seller or the landlord side and the buyer and tenant side. Now, we take that one step further, and we go on to represent just healthcare professionals, and in my case, specifically dentists. When a dentist that's looking to start a new practice comes to me, the first thing we talk about is the importance of hiring a buyer-tenant-only broker and what that means to them. It's so important to have someone who always has your best interest at heart and real estate, and that's extremely necessary when you're going out, especially with your first time and finding a lease or a practice that you're going to buy and negotiating on that real estate. The reason why having a buyer-tenant-only broker is important is because 99% of all commercial real estate agents do the majority of their business for sellers or landlords. They depend on those guys to get them their properties that they're listing. That's where they make their income. So when they represent a buyer or tenant, and they can do that even if they're only representing the buyer or tenant on that side for that transaction, the majority of their money comes from landlords or sellers. None of my business comes from landlords or sellers. All of my business comes from buyers and tenants. So the second thing that we'll talk about is understanding all of the options available to them at the time. Now, you've got lease options versus purchase options, and coming out of the gate, a purchase option's normally not one of those. So what we're doing is we're looking at all the different lease options that could be available. It could be a retail space, it could be a medical office building, it could be a multi-tenant office building. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at all of the spaces available, no matter who owns them, no matter who they're listed with, and then come up with the best options for my client. Another thing that's important that we'll talk about is once you've determined the options that you're going to go into is negotiating on multiple options simultaneously. This is actually more work for the broker, and we're okay with this because this is the only way for you to truly get what is going to be the best option available to you at the time. We're going to go back and forth with multiple landlords or sellers and get them down to their best possible price. And then you're going to look at that best price and go, okay, this is the one that I think is going to fit my practice and my budget the best. The difference in cost savings when you negotiate on multiple properties versus just one, or on a renewal when you're negotiating on other options versus just negotiating with your current landlord, can be huge. It can be anywhere from tens of thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars over the term of that lease. Once we've picked out the different spaces and options that we have, then the next thing is talking about really making those decisions on a factual basis and on an emotional basis. It's really easy to get emotional about real estate. One, because it's such a huge investment, but two, because real estate, whether it's our house or whether it's our office, you're going to spend a lot of time there. And so that's why we come along, we help to really put all of the different options on paper. We'll put it in a spreadsheet for them, show them the price per square foot, the amount of concessions we're getting from each landlord, and let them look at each offer side by side to really go, okay, this is going to be in my best interest. Now, sometimes we have a bit of an emotional pull towards one space or the other, and that's okay. What a dentist starting his own practice should really be looking for in a space is a couple of things. One, of course, depending upon their specialty, what their particular needs are. If you're a general dentist, you're looking for high visibility. If you're a specialist who really gets most of their patients from referral, then you want to be surrounded by general dentists and being close to their facility. That way, it makes it convenient for the patients. But really, you want your space to reflect your practice, your culture. One of the biggest pitfalls a dentist will get into is sometimes of thinking that the location is going to be the number one factor determining their success. And I mean, take this from the real estate guy, who I would love it if you would pick the most expensive location, because that's what I get paid on. So the location is not the only determining factor as to how successful your practice is going to be. Now, it does contribute to it, but doing the proper marketing, having the proper internal team, the proper external team, these are the things that are truly going to come together to make you a successful dentist. So the best advice that I would give a young dentist coming out would be, don't feel like you have to do this on your own. I mean, really, you're going to be creating two teams. You've got your internal team and your external team. Your internal team is your assistant, your hygienist, your receptionist, office manager. These are the things that every dentist is thinking about and thinks, oh my gosh, I've got to get this right. Your external team is just as important as your internal team. And your external team is going to consist of people like your banker, your attorney, your real estate professional, your CPA, your supply person. All of these people are going to come together and help you with your practice, because if your practice doesn't succeed, they don't succeed. My firm was created out of the out of the need for dentists to have representation on their side. And I love what we get to do and the impact we get to make on their lives. So I really would just encourage anybody who's watching this to really give us a call. Go to our website. We really are here for their best interest.